Welcome to The Explainer. Sometimes you hear these amazing stories about how one person's passion can just ignite this fire that completely shapes a community's future. Well, today we're diving into one of those stories. We're looking at Brinda Selvam and the Singapore Tamil Youth Club to see how they're turning history into a living, breathing legacy. So, that's the big question, right? How does that actually happen? How can one person's drive create these massive ripples that shape where a whole community is headed? Let's find out by following the journey of a truly remarkable leader. All right, first things first, let's meet Brinda Selvam. She is the perfect example of someone who just masterfully balances a super demanding professional career with this deep, unwavering commitment to your community. So, by day, Brinda's in the fast-paced world of finance, working as a consultant. But honestly, it's her passion projects where her story just comes alive. I mean, look at this range: community work, performing arts, education, leadership. It's this incredible mix of skills that really sets the stage for everything that comes next. You know how they say every great journey starts with a single step? Well, for Brinda, that first step was a big one. It wasn't just about joining a club. It was about diving headfirst into a project that had huge historical importance. Her journey with the STYC kicked off at a really pivotal moment in her life, right after she finished her studies at Jurong Junior College. Like a lot of young people, she was looking for a way to connect, to give back, to find her place. And boy, did she find it at the STYC. The real spark, though, it was her work on the Singapore Tamil's 200 Bicentennial project back in 2019. This wasn't just some small volunteer gig. She was on the front lines, interviewing major community figures, documenting their incredible life stories. And through that, she got this really profound firsthand look into the history and the sheer resilience of her own community. Okay, this is where things get really cool. Brinda didn't just show up and volunteer her time. Nope. She brought her whole self, all her passions, and just brilliantly fused them with the opportunities she found right there in the club. So she has this deep love for dance and the performing arts. And when she looked at the SDYC, she saw more than just a social club. She saw a stage. It became her platform to choreograph, to perform, to collaborate. She basically turned her personal hobby into this powerful engine for promoting and preserving Tamil culture. How awesome is that? So, what happens when you pour that much passion and energy into something? Well, it definitely doesn't go unnoticed. Let's take a look at how Brinda's early involvement quickly evolved into this incredible journey of leadership and real responsibility. Her dedication was just undeniable, and you can see it in how she rose through the ranks. She starts out managing the club's finances as honorary treasurer, then steps up to lead the whole organization as president, and now she holds this crucial dual role of deputy president and chairperson of the fund management committee. That kind of rapid climb into leadership, with all its pressures, it takes a special kind of inner strength. And that very mindset, that strength, is just perfectly captured by a powerful Tamil proverb that seems like it was written about her journey. It translates to, "Her own courage is a companion in distress." I mean, wow, that just brilliantly illustrates the kind of inner grit and resilience that leadership demands, especially when things get tough. It's all about relying on your own conviction to get through the hard times. So here's the crucial point. This story doesn't end with one person's leadership or even one published book. It keeps evolving, and it's looking straight into the future. That bicentennial project, it resulted in this beautifully compiled physical book, a real, tangible record of the stories of these dynamic, inspiring Tamil youths. And that, in itself, is a huge achievement. But the story doesn't stop there. Now, the STYC is taking all that foundational work and launching it straight into the 21st century. They're building a living, interactive online archive to make these stories accessible to the whole world. And get this, they're using powerful AI tools like Google Notebook LM to bring it all to life. Just think of it as this super smart assistant that can take all their research, interviews, articles, photos, and turn it into this intelligent, searchable database that anyone can explore. And this amazing attention to detail even shows up in their language. The club makes a point to use the term Ilayar instead of a more common word for youths. It might seem like a small thing, but it's a really powerful choice that shows this deep respect for the cultural nuances they're working so hard to represent. And the goals for this digital platform, they are huge. We're not just talking about putting a book online. This is about creating a living network. Imagine being able to click on someone's name, read their story, watch clips from their interview, see how they're connected to other leaders, and even have a way to contact them for mentorship. it completely transforms a historical record into a dynamic resource for a global audience. When you look at the journey of Brinda Selvam and the STYC, it shows you that building a community legacy isn't just about honoring the past. It's about actively and innovatively creating the future. It's about making sure these vital stories don't just survive, but that they thrive. Because if we don't do this kind of work, these stories and all the wisdom they hold, they can just fade away, you know? And that leaves the next generation with a much weaker link to their own history and identity. And that leaves us with a really powerful question to think about. In a world where the tools to record our own histories are literally in our pockets, who's going to tell the stories of our communities? The answer is, we are. The responsibility to capture these stories in our own voices, it falls on each and every one of us. So the only real question left is, what story are you going to tell?